Hi everyone. In last class we have discussed about the lenses and magnification and cutting of the lenses, vertical and horizontal cutting. So let me continue the cutting of lenses. So we have discussed about the horizontal cutting of lens. If we take a convex lens over here, suppose if you cut into two parts, if you cut it horizontally, okay, so you will get the two uh, separate lenses, okay. So if its focal length is f, since these two parts are not their radius of curvature is not changing, so focal length will not change because we have already discussed. So 1 by f depends upon what? Depends upon their radius of curvature, okay. It depends on their radius of curvature. So since the radius of curvature is not changing, it is same. So again the new focal length is also what? It is also equal to f only. So this is also equal to f only, okay. So suppose if you cut into two parts and if you separate them, okay, if you cut into two parts and this is what your principal axis, okay. So if you cut and separate them, if this comes here and another part comes little away from the before one, and this is what your principal axis before. But where is the principal axis now? Now principal axis will split into two, okay. So this is what the one principal axis for this one, and there is one more principal axis for this one, okay. So what will happen when you separate them little away from each other, so their principal axis will split into two, okay. So suppose if you are having one lens over here and another lens, if you put it inverted, and this is what your principal axis, so what will be the equivalent focal length? Suppose if what is its equivalent focal length? Its equivalent focal length will become what? It will become 1 by f equals to, or it will become f only, okay. So if you use the 1 by f equals to 1 by f1 plus 1 by f2, okay. So now what will happen? If you take this combination, so if you apply this one, 1 by f equals to 1 by f1 plus 1 by f2. So 1 by f equals to, this is also f and this is also f. So f equals to what you will write? You will write it as f by 2. But this is what applicable for this one, if combination is like this only. But inverted combination is there. So if you take this as answer, that is going to be wrong. Why? You are talking about this principal axis. So for this focal length is what? For this focal length is f. But for this focal length will not become f. Why? With respect to this principal axis, if you look at the structure of the lens over here, it is thin at the middle and thick at the at the ends. So what will happen? This acts as a concave. So this we have to take minus f. So your equivalent focal length will become 1 by f minus 1 by f. Again, what people will do? People will write it as f equals to 0. So don't make hurry in that one. So what will happen? 1 by f will become 0, but f will become what? F will become infinite. So this is what we have to take care when we are finding the equivalent focal length of their individual pieces, okay. So this is what the horizontal cutting of the lens. Similarly, if I take vertical cutting, so we have discussed this in last class. So if you cut this, if its focal length is f, if you cut it into two parts, you will get one part here that will become a plano convex, and another part you will get it. So that is also what plano convex. Okay, so this is what if it is focal length f, so these focal lengths f1 and f2 are not same. Yesterday we have discussed, we will get it as 2f and 2f, okay. So if you combine them together, so what you will get? You will get it as again f only, okay. So your new f will become what? F only. Here one more thing, if we combine in different ways, suppose I will take these two parts, so and I will join them like this, okay. So I will join them like this, okay, or I can join like this also. So this is another combination, and I may join them like this also, okay. So out of these three, which is having the maximum focal length? Out of these three, which is having the maximum focal length? If you look at look at the structure. It is just combination of two lenses. What is this focal length? It is 2f. What is this one? It is 2f. So if you find the equivalent focal length, so this will become 1 by 2f plus 1 by 2f. So what will happen? So your new f will become, again 2 by 2f will become f only. So it will not change. You can apply the same thing here also. This is also 2f. Again you will get what? Again you will get f only. Again here 2f. Your answer will be f only. So your focal length is not changing just by changing their position. So the equivalent focal length does not depend on their arrangement. That means by changing the arrangement, focal length will not change. Okay, so this is what the vertical cutting, we have discussed this in the last class. So we will concentrate a little on the combination of lenses. Suppose you are having two convex lens. Okay, this is one and there is one more convex lens. This is having focal length f1 and this is having focal length f2. If you want to equivalent focal length of these two, what we have derived, we got it as 1 by f equals to 1 by f1 plus 1 by f2. Okay. Suppose f1 is equals to f2, f1 equals to f2 equals to f. So your new focal length will become what? It will become 2 by f. So f dash will be f by 2. Okay. So what we can do here, instead of this one, if I take concave, one convex and another concave, if combination is somehow like this and having the same focal length f and f, so now what will happen? 1 by f equals to, or 1 by f dash equals to, so 1 by f, so this will become what? This is a concave, so it will become negative, so minus 1 by f. So again what people will do, people will write it as f equals to 0, that is going to be wrong. So 1 by f equals to 0, so f equals to what? F will become infinite. Okay. So if you join a number of, so if there are n number of lenses, okay. So if they are convex, I can write it as n number of convex lenses. So what you can write? You can write it as equivalent focal length is equals to 1 by f1 plus 1 by f2 plus so on, like 1 by fn. Okay. Similarly, power we know that. So power is what? 1 by f. Important thing is f should be in what? F should be in meter. Okay. So you can write it as power equals to p1 plus p2 plus so on, like pn. Okay. If combination is the alternative of convex and concave, okay. If combination is somehow like this, convex, concave like that, so on like that till n. So what will happen? So 1 by f equals to 1 by f1 convex minus 1 by f2 concave plus 1 by f3 convex, again concave into so on like that. So you have to change the sign according to whether the given one is convex or concave. Okay. So with the help of this one, we can find the what is the new focal length, or what is the nature of combination, or nature of combination. Suppose if they give somehow like this, if they ask this combination is, if they ask combination is convex or concave or plain glass or something, if they give options to check whether this combination acts as we cannot say by looking at the diagram it is convex or concave. You have to calculate the focal length with the help of this formula. If focal length is coming positive, then you can say it is a convex. If the equivalent focal length is coming negative, then you can call it as the concave length. So there we can use this formula. So in combination of two convex lenses, suppose you have two convex lenses. So what we got is equivalent focal length as 1 by f equals to 1 by f1 plus 1 by f2. Here, an important thing is f1 and f2 are focal lengths focal length with respect to air. So surrounding is air here. Okay. Suppose this combination is immersed in a liquid. Suppose this combination is immersed in the liquid. So outside is liquid having say refractive index n. Now formula is not going to change. 1 by f equals to 1 by f1 plus 1 by f2 only. But your f1 and f2 you have to find. 1 by f1 equals to, it is not here, f1 and f2 is what you can write simply it as 1 by f1 equals to n minus 1 by r1 minus 1 by r2. This formula you can apply here. So here it will be n divided by n liquid, refractive index of the lens divided by refractive index of the liquid, means surrounding minus 1 into 1 by r1 minus 1 by r2. So this we have to apply here, 1 by f1 and 1 by f2. N by nl minus 1 into 1 by r1 minus 1 by r2. Okay, so this is how we can find the equivalent focal length of the combination when it is kept in the different medium instead of the air. Okay, suppose this combination is a little away from each other. These two lenses are a little away from each other. So first case I will take it as, suppose one lens is here. Okay, and at some distance say d, another lens is going to be there. Okay, so here I will put another convex lens. Okay, this is having focal length f1 and this is having focal length f2. Again surrounding and in between, here also it is a and here also it is a. Okay, so if this is the case, so what is the equivalent focal length? Equivalent focal length is 1 by f equals to 1 by f1 plus 1 by f2 minus d divided by f1 f2, or if you want to write power, p equals to p1 plus p2 minus d p1 p2. Okay, so this is how we can get when combination is kept at a distance d. So now if suppose the same combination, this is one convex lens, at some distance d there is one more convex lens, again focal length is f1 and f2, but here the outside is air, here it is air and here also it is air, but inside it is filled with some medium, say its refractive index, we can call it as, say its refractive index as n. Okay, if this is the case, you cannot say it in between it is a concave lens also, because distance is more. So what you can write equivalent focal length? Equivalent focal length will become 1 by f equals to 1 by f1 plus 1 by f2 minus d divided by n. D divided by n. N is what? Refractive index of the medium between these two lenses. Whole divided by f1 f2, or you can write 1 by f equals to 1 by f1 plus 1 by f2 minus d divided by n into f1 f2. Okay, so remember this is important thing. So you have to divide by n for this formula, or if you write in terms of power equals to p1 plus p2 minus d divided by n into p1 p2. Okay, so this is what when this distance is large. Suppose, again remember this d is very important. They may ask the question on d also, that we will discuss later. So before that, here d is large. Suppose d is small, this in between medium will also become a lens, that is a concave lens. Suppose situation is something like this. Lenses are so close to each other. If situation is like this. Okay. So d is very small. So d is small. So this is what you can call it as, this is filled with some medium. Okay, so this is filled with some medium, and instead of taking a focal length, you can write this as f1 and this as f2. So in between, this also acts as a lens only now. It also acts as a lens. Instead it is a concave lens. So in this case, so what formula you can simply write 1 by f equals to 1 by f1 plus 1 by f2 plus 1 by f3. Okay, that is 1 by f equals to, here 1 by f1 plus 1 by F2 is what? It is the length due to the liquid. So you can write as Fn plus 1 by F3. Okay. Then what is the special in this? Special in this case is we have to find their individual focal length. Suppose here it is radius of curvature R1 and for this it is R2. Similarly here it is R1 and R2. So what is the 1 by F1? 1 by F1 is equals to, so for first focal length it is n minus 1 into, so 1 by R1 minus 1 by R2, but this R2 will become what? Negative, so you can write it as plus. For liquid, so again n minus 1, this refractive index is not of lens now, it is of this medium. Okay, so that liquid. Again remember these F1, F2, F3 are with respect to air, not with respect to this medium. Okay, so you can write it as 1 by R1. So R1 is negative or positive? R1 is, it will go on this side here. Okay, sorry, this side. That means for this lens R1 is what? R2. So you can write it as R2 but negative. Minus for this. For liquid lens, your R2 will become what? R1, but it is in positive, so it will become 1 by R1. So 1 by F1 equals to, take negative sign outside, so Nm minus 1 into 1 by R2 plus 1 by R1. See here, negative sign is coming because it is looking like a concave. Okay. So similarly for F3, again same thing, N minus 1. 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2. Okay. So this is how. Why I am doing this one is, what students will do is, for this lens they calculate the focal length by taking this liquid also. They will use this formula. No need to use that formula. You can just simply find F1, F2 with respect to air medium. Okay. So now if I take a different combination, suppose you are having a plano convex here, and that is completely attached with the plano concave. Okay, so this is what I will take it as a converging one, and this is what diverging one. Okay, so if this is the case, so again what you can calculate if you want to get the equivalent focal length. So 1 by F equals to 1 by F1 plus 1 by F2 only, but you have to find F1 and F2 individually. So for this you can take F1 and this you can take F2. So how we can find F1? 1 by F1 equals to, so again it's the refractive index, so you can write it as refractive index of C minus 1 into 1 by, what is R1? R1 is infinite, so infinite, minus 1 by R2, you can take it as radius of curvature as R. So R2 is R or minus, it is minus R, so this will become plus. So what you will get? 1 by F1 equals to NC minus 1 divided by R. This will become 0. Okay. So you have to take care, it should come positive only because it is a convex. So similarly 1 by F2 is equals to ND, means diverging lens refractive index minus 1 into 1 by R1. R1 is what? R, but it is going to be negative. So minus R, minus of 1 divided by, it is plane. So again you will get it as infinite. So again here 1 by F2 equals to ND minus 1. So this is going to be 0. So what we will get it as minus R here. So this is coming as negative. So one is acting as concave and one is acting as convex. So if you find the equivalent focal length, if it is coming positive, the system acts as the convex. If it is coming negative, system acts as the concave. Okay. So this is what how we can take use of this combination of lenses. Now, if we talk about this D, so what they may ask you, suppose they kept two lenses at some distance, say D. Okay. If question is, when a parallel ray of light incident here, so the emergent light is again a parallel. Suppose it will come here. So again emergent light is what? Again it is parallel to what? Parallel to principal axis. So here also what? Parallel to principal axis. That means ray is coming from infinite and going to infinite. So this is happens only for particular value of d. They may ask what is that value of d. Okay. So if you want to get a system whose focal length is infinite, the system focal length is going to be infinite. Why? If a ray of light coming from infinite distance, where it should converge, it will converge at focal point. But it is going to be parallel to principal axis, means what? Your focus is going to be at infinite. That means your focal length is going to be infinite. Means the system focal length is what? System focal length is going to be infinite. So we can find the d over there. How we can find? Suppose this is having f1 and this is having f2. So 1 by f equals to 1 by f1 plus 1 by f2. Okay. Now, so since distance is there, so we cannot stop here only. So it will become minus d divided by f1 f2. Okay. Now, so 1 by f, what is the equivalent focal length? I said it is going to be infinite because the emergent ray is also going to parallel to principal axis. So it is going to be 0. So 1 by f1 plus 1 by f2 minus d divided by f1 f2. Okay. So 1 by infinity is what? 0. So that means, so if this becomes 0, take this on this side. So d divided by f1 f2 equals to 1 by f1 plus 1 by f2. Okay. So take f1 f2 this side. So d equals to f1 f2 divided by f1 means f2 remains, plus f1 f2 by f2 means f1 remains. So d equals to what? D equals to f1 plus f2. Okay. So this is what the condition for d. If you want the focal length of the combination should be infinite. If you want focal length of combination to be infinite, then what you have to do? You have to keep two lenses at a distance of d equals to f1 plus f2. Okay. So similarly, instead of both convex, if one is concave, suppose condition is like this. This is going to be one convex at some distance, say d, another lens, concave lens. So what will happen now? This is f1, this is f2. So very simple. If you calculate what is going to be happen, this is going to be negative. Okay. So what you can write? You can directly write it as d should be equals to what? f1 minus f2. Okay. So if you take d equals to f1 minus f2, so again what you will get? You will get it as, so equivalent focal length as infinite. So this is what the condition for d to get the combination focal length as infinite. Okay. So next we will go with the silvering of lenses. Okay. Silvering of lens. Okay. Suppose you are having the lens. Its one surface is silver and this side is silver. Okay. That means what will happen for this part? What if a ray of light comes? So what will happen? Refraction will take place. Okay. So here, since it is a silver, so what will happen? Reflection takes place. Okay. So reflection takes place means this will become a mirror. This will become what? This will become spherical surface. This will become spherical surface. Okay. So if in this case, how we can find the focal length? So suppose if you take this separately, and this is the lens and this is silver on this side. Okay. So how we can divide this is, if a ray of light incident, so first refraction will take place at this point. So what will happen? A ray of light comes, so this will refract. Next, reflection will take place because it is a curved surface. So here a reflection will take place. So what will happen? Ray of light comes and this will get to reflect. Again, what will happen? One more time, a refraction will take place. A ray of light comes here. So what will happen? It will refract. Okay. So totally there are three processes takes place here. So we don't worry about this one. Now look at this one. So what you can write? Equivalent power. Power you can write it as power of lens plus power of mirror plus power of again lens, or simply you can write it as power equals to 2 times the power of lens plus power of the mirror. Okay. Similarly, you can write it as focal length also. So 1 by f is equals to 1 by focal length of lens plus 1 by focal length of mirror plus 1 by focal length of again lens. Okay. So that is 1 by f equals to 2 times 1 by focal length of lens plus 1 by focal length of mirror. Okay. Now if you look at the focal length of lens, we are not going to take the total lens. Refraction is taking place only at this surface. Okay. That means it is acting like a spherical refracting surface. For spherical refracting surface, so if you apply 1 by f equals to n minus 1, so what you can do here? So 1 by r, it is a act. What it is acting as? It is a lens, complete lens it is. So even though it is a spherical refracting surface, you take it as lens. So 1 by r. Suppose these two are of same. This is also having r and this is also having r. So what will happen? 1 by r minus minus will become plus. So 1 by r. So 1 by f equals to it will become 2 times n minus 1 divided by r. Okay. So this is what focal length of lens. What about focal length of mirror? This is what focal length of lens. What about focal length of mirror? Focal length of mirror is simple, half of the radius of curvature. Okay. So half of radius of curvature. Just you can substitute here. So 1 by f equals to 2 times again 2 into n minus 1, 2 into n minus 1 divided by r plus it is 1 divided by r by 2. Okay. So 1 by f equals to 4n minus 1 divided by r plus 2 divided by r. Okay. So if you calculate again, 1 by f equals to, this is 4n minus 4 plus 2. So it will become minus 2 divided by r, or focal length equals to r divided by 4n minus 2. Okay. Or you can take 2 outside, you can write it as r divided by 2 into n minus 1 also. Okay. So this is how we can calculate the focal length of the lens, which is silver. Similarly, if situation is little different, if instead of taking the convex lens, if they take a plano convex lens and it is silvered on this side, so now what will happen? Again same thing. So first time refraction will take place through the lens, so ray of light will go, it will refract. Again because of the silvering, reflection will take place because it acts as what? It will act as a mirror. So ray of light comes here and it will reflect. Again what will happen? Refraction will take place. Okay. So again refraction will take place here. Light coming here, it will move away from the top. Okay. So if this is the case, now what will happen? Again same thing. 1 by f equals to 2 times it is passing through lens. So you can write as 2 divided by focal length of the lens plus 1 time focal length of mirror. Okay. So now finding the focal length of lens is required. So 1 by fl equals to n minus 1. So first surface is plane. That means r1 will become what? Infinite. Minus second is what? Radius of curvature, we can take it as r. So what will happen? Minus of minus r. Okay. So 1 by fl equals to, it will become n minus 1 divided by r. This will become 0. Okay. So as usual, focal length of mirror is what? Focal length of mirror is r by 2 only. So substitute here again. So 1 by f equals to 2 times n minus 1 by r plus, this is f, focal length of mirror is r by 2, so this will become what? 2 by r. Okay. So 1 by f equals to 2n minus 2 plus 2 will go, so divided by r. Okay. So you can simply write it as f equals to r divided by 2n. Okay. Similarly, we can reverse this situation also. If I reverse it, instead of taking that one, if I take something like this, if I silvered on this side, so what will happen? So again one time through the lens, one time through the mirror. Okay. So again plus one time through the lens. Okay. So now what will happen? Now again 1 by f equals to 2 times focal length of lens plus 1 time focal length of mirror. For lens focal length is what? It is n minus 1 into 1 by r minus 1 by infinite. Okay, so second radius of curvature is not infinite. So 1 by fl equals to n minus 1 divided by r. Then what about the mirror? For mirror, focal length will become what? Focal length will become, now radius of curvature is infinite. So again it will become what? Infinite. So 1 by f is equals to 2 divided by 2 into n minus 1 by r. 2 into n minus 1 divided by r. So plus 1 by infinite. So this will go 0. So f equals to r divided by 2 into n minus 1. So these two situations looks like same, but there is a lot of difference. This will become r by 2n. This will become r by 2n minus 1. Similarly like this, r divided by 2n minus 1. Okay. So this is what one more very important thing in finding the equivalent focal length. So we'll go with the simple problems on the combination of lenses. Suppose you are having one convex lens and concave lens. Say the radius of curvature of both is what? R equals to 10 and its refractive index is 1.5 and its refractive index is 2. What is the question? Question is combination acts as your option say convex or concave or convexo-concave, okay, or concavo-convex, okay. So if this is the case, so we have to find the equivalent focal length. For that we can use 1 by f equals to 1 by f1 plus 1 by f2, okay. So how we can find 1 by f1? 1 by f1 is equals to n minus 1. N is what? 1.5 minus 1 into 1 by r1, that is 1 by 10 minus of, again this is also 10 but negative. This r will become on this side, this r will go on this side. So it is minus of 10. So what you will get? 1 by f1 is equals to 0.5 into, this will become plus, so this is what? 2 by 10. This will become 2 by 10. Okay. So now 1 by f1 will become, so this will become 1, so 1 by 10. So f1 is equals to what? F1 is equals to 10. Now what about f2? So 1 by f2 is equals to what is the refractive index? 2 minus 1 into 1 by 10, and this is going to be this side, so it is negative, so minus 10 minus of 1 by 10, so second this is going to be positive. So what will happen? 1 by f2 equals to, this will become 1, so minus 2 divided by 10. So 1 by f2 equals to what? 1 by f2 equals to minus 1 by 5, that is f2 equals to minus 5. Okay. So what is the equivalent focal length? The equivalent focal length is 1 by f equals to 1 by f1. 1 by f1 is what? 1 by 10. So 1 by 10 minus 1 by 5. So 1 by f equals to, so what will you get? You will get it as 1 minus 2 by 10. So f equals to, you will get it as minus 10. So since you are getting it as minus 10 means your combination acts as convex. So not convex, it is concave. Okay, because negative focal length, so it acts as the concave lens. Okay, so your answer going to be concave. Okay, similarly, suppose, so now if I take another example, suppose you are having a curved surface like this and one more curved surface on that, and it contains some water. Okay, so this is what? Glass, and this is what going to be water. If you look at diagram, these two radius are not same. So outer one is smaller, you can take it as r equals to 10, inner one is larger, so you can take it as r equals to 20. Okay. So if this is the case, they may ask what is the focal length of combination. Focal length of combination, or they may ask what is the nature of the combination, whether it is concave or convex, similarly as before we discussed. So again what will happen, 1 by f equals to 1 by focal length of lens plus 1 by focal length of, not lens, you can use a glass, 1 by focal length of water. Okay. So for glass, 1 by focal length of glass equals to n minus 1, glass means refractive index is 1.5, 1.5 minus 1 into 1 by r1, r1 is 10. So if you take light in this direction, this is going to be what? Positive. So 1 by 10 minus 1 by 20, that is also positive. So this is what 0.5 into, this is 2 minus 1 by 20. So what will happen, this is 1 by 2, so 40. So 1 by fg equals to, so this will become what, 1 by 40. So focal length of glass is what, 40 centimeters. Okay. So similarly for water, 1 by focal length of water equals to, for water refractive index is what, 1.33, so you can take it as 4 by 3. So 4 by 3 minus 1 into, so 1 by r1 is going to be 20, so 1 by 20 minus, this is what, this is going to be infinite, means it is a plane surface, so 1 by infinite. Okay. So now this is going to be 0, so this is 1 by 3 into 1 by 20, that is 1 by 60. So focal length of water is equals to 1 by 60 centimeter. Okay. So if you apply this here, 60 centimeter, so this will become 1 by 40 plus 1 by 60. Okay. And 40 and 60 you can take it as 120. So 120, 4 3 is 3 plus 2. So what you will get it as? You will get as 5 by 120, or focal length equals to 120 by 5. So focal length equals to, so 24 centimeter. Okay. So this is how you can solve the problem. Or if you want one more step ahead, suppose they may give there is a combination of lenses which they are kept together. Combination focal length is, or power of this combination is going to be, say, 10 diopter. Okay. So similarly, if they kept at some distance, if they kept at some distance, say at d equals to 0.25 centimeter, so then power will become what? Power will become 6 diopter. Okay. What they are asking, they may ask what is the F1 and F2. What is the F1 and F2? So you can use the same formula. What is that? 1 by F equals to 1 by F1 plus 1 by F2 minus d by F1 F2. But don't go directly for that one. They are asking the powers. We can take 1 by power also, but that will make the calculation little difficult. So what we can do here is we can directly write in terms of power only. Here what is they are giving equivalent power is 10. That means here what you can write, P1 plus P2 is equals to 10 directly. Okay. So because equivalent focal length is what? P. Here for second one, it is P1 plus P2 minus D P1 P2 equals to 6. Okay. So P1 plus P2 minus D means 0.25. 0.25 shall I take it as 1 by 4. So 1 by 4 P1 P2 equals to 6. Okay. So take 1 by 4 P1 P2 on that side. P1 plus P2 is what? P1 plus P2 is 10. 10 minus 6 equals to, so P1 P2 by 4. So P1 P2 equals to, so this will become what? This will become 60. So you got two equations, that is one is P1 plus P2 equals to 10, another is P1 P2 equals to 16. Look at here, don't solve the, don't waste your time by solving this thing. So we will get 16 for different combinations. That is 4 into 4 will get 16, and we will get 8 into 2 will get 16, and 16 into 1 also will get. So in all these three cases we will get 16, but if we add them, 4 plus 4 will not become 8, 16 plus 1 will become 17, that will not become even 10. So 8 plus 2 will become 10. So what will happen? Your P1 is 8 and P2 is 2. Okay. So that means what is F1? F1 is 1 by P1, that is 1 by 8. So what you can write it as? You can write it as 0. So 1, 2 like that. Okay. So similarly F2 is what? 1 by P2, that is 1 by 2, that is going to be 0.5.